Last night, the lights of the Wintrust Arena blazed with an intensity that seemed almost electric, as if the building itself was holding its breath. Outside, the city pulsed with anticipation. Social media feeds erupted with posts, banners waved from every corner, and the bold pink tagline, "Welcome back, Barbie," screamed from screens and billboards alike. The reason? Angel Reese, the WNBA sensation who had captured hearts and headlines alike, was finally stepping back onto the court after nearly a month away. For Chicago fans, this was supposed to be a moment of pure euphoria, a long-awaited celebration of their rising star. The Sky had orchestrated her return like a grand championship parade, each seat filled with expectation, each social media post a promise of triumph. And yet, beneath the fanfare, there was an undercurrent of anxiety, a gnawing fear that the excitement might outpace reality. Could Reese, after weeks off, truly lift a team burdened by a season of losses? Could her return ignite a squad teetering on the brink of playoff elimination? Or would the weight of expectation crush the moment before it even began? In a season that had been marred by frustration, injuries, and setbacks. 8 wins, 26 losses. Reese's absence had only magnified every disappointment, every sigh of doubt. The stakes felt enormous, not just for the team, but for the fans who had pinned their hopes on her brilliance. Their hearts raced with anticipation, a mixture of hope and fear, knowing that tonight was not just a game. It was a test of faith, talent, and resilience. The game tipped off against Seattle with an intensity that electrified the arena, the air thick with nerves and anticipation. Fans leaned forward in their seats, some holding their breaths, others waving signs and phones in a desperate attempt to capture a moment they hoped would be magical. Every dribble, every pass, every step Angel Reese took seemed to carry the weight of expectation from thousands of eyes, each heartbeat syncing with hers. Reese herself moved with focus and determination, her muscles coiled, her mind racing to read the defense and find opportunities. She delivered a stat line that, on paper, seemed impressive: 19 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Yet, despite the numbers, the narrative of the night quickly slipped from statistical achievement to visual storytelling. A viral block by Easy Eye Magbeggar became the centerpiece of social media conversation, replayed and dissected endlessly. Moments of hesitation, near misses at the rim, and failed finishing attempts were magnified under the spotlight. The juxtaposition of anticipation and reality hit fans like a gut punch. What was supposed to be a triumphant return became, for many, a reminder of how fragile expectations can be. Social media, which had earlier been filled with glowing proclamations, memes, and pink banners celebrating Reese's comeback, now brimmed with commentary dripping with irony and frustration. The excitement that had built over weeks of waiting seemed almost cruel in its contrast to what actually unfolded on the hardwood. The crowd, initially roaring in euphoria, oscillated between applause and murmurs of doubt, as if collectively trying to reconcile the images on the court with the dreams in their minds. In the stands, emotions ran high. Some fans felt a sting of betrayal, imagining that the star who had promised a resurgence might not carry the weight they had invested in her. Others still cheered, clinging to hope that the game was only the first chapter in a larger story, a story that required patience and faith. Meanwhile, the players on both sides sensed the tension, the subtle vibration of expectation, and the weight of scrutiny that came with every move. Basketball, in its purest form, is a team sport, and tonight it reminded everyone of that truth. Reese's individual brilliance, while undeniable, was only one piece of a larger puzzle. Cohesion, timing, trust, and resilience, all intangible qualities that can't be bought or hyped, were missing in crucial moments. Her flashy return, marketed as a potential spark to ignite a struggling franchise, had instead become an ironic counterpoint to Chicago's ongoing struggles. The narrative began to shift subtly but unmistakably. Was Angel Reese truly the savior Chicago had been promised, or was the hype simply a veneer over a team still mired in chaos, still searching for its identity? Angel Reese framed her time away as a period of self-reflection, a chance to learn about herself, grow, and reset mentally. The official word from the Sky cited a back issue, a plausible explanation that seemed to satisfy the team's PR machine. Yet for fans, every missed game carried weight, and the absence raised eyebrows. The timing couldn't have been worse. The Sky were slipping, struggling to maintain even a faint pulse in the playoff race, and every game counted like precious seconds slipping through fingers. There was a sense of unease among supporters, a mix of worry and frustration, as they watched the scoreboard tick against them, wondering if the team's fate had been sealed in Reese's absence. Critics were merciless. Sports commentators, social media pundits, and fan forums lit up with speculation, questioning whether this was a repeat of her rookie-year pattern. A rising star who checked out when the season got messy, leaving her team to struggle without her leadership. Again, some typed angrily. Not when the team needed her most. Every highlight, every social media clip, every missed opportunity became fuel for discussion, a digital magnifying glass exposing perceived flaws. The narrative shifted, swiftly, from excitement and anticipation to scrutiny and doubt, turning what should have been a celebratory return into a psychological battlefield. Yet the truth was far more nuanced. Reese's individual statistics were impressive. Her scoring, rebounds, and assists reflected a player still at the peak of her physical ability. But statistics alone don't win games. Basketball is an intricate dance of timing, chemistry, and resilience. And here, the disconnect between perception and reality was stark. Fans wanted a hero to lift them out of despair, but no single player could compensate for systemic weaknesses, roster imbalance, or years of franchise instability. The emotional weight was heavy. Hope wrestled with disappointment, admiration collided with frustration, and every fan in the arena felt the tension, the unspoken question hanging in the air. Could Angel Reese carry a city's expectations? Or was this just another moment where hype would collide painfully with reality? Chicago's woes were not solely Reese's responsibility. The cracks had been forming long before her return, embedded in roster depth, lingering injuries, and a series of management decisions that seemed reactive rather than strategic. When the Sky traded promising rookie Sonia Citron to Washington, it sent a clear signal. The team was doubling down on short-term hope over long-term foundation. Ariel Atkins, a seasoned scorer and defender, was brought in to support Reese, a veteran presence meant to stabilize the squad. On paper, the logic seemed sound. Pair a rising superstar with experienced talent, spark chemistry, and push for playoff contention. Yet reality proved harsher than spreadsheets and headlines. The Sky's record stubbornly lingered near the bottom of the league, and every game felt like a reminder that a single player, no matter how talented, cannot shoulder a franchise's burdens alone. Reese's flashes of brilliance, her points, rebounds, and assists, were undeniable, but they highlighted the emptiness around her. Every moment she drove the lane, every successful shot, seemed to scream into a void, met not with collective momentum, but with gaps in defense, missed rotations, and a team that often seemed disjointed. Fans felt a spectrum of emotions: hope, excitement, and pride when Reese made a highlight play, immediately tempered by frustration, doubt, and even heartbreak as the team failed to capitalize. Social media exploded with conflicting sentiments. Cheers for her effort clashed with memes and critiques highlighting missed opportunities and the team's continued slide. The arena, while loud, carried an undertone of tension, a collective anxiety that this return, no matter how flashy, might not be enough to reverse a season spiraling out of control. The emotional toll was not only on fans. Players, too, felt it. The pressure of performing alongside a superstar, the awareness that their own struggles were magnified by contrast, and the knowledge that every misstep would be dissected online. And in commentary, the narrative Chicago had built around Reese, meant to inspire, now felt fragile. The promise of salvation lay in the hands of one player, but basketball, in its essence, is a team sport. And when the team falters, the heartache is collective, fueled by unmet expectations, shattered dreams, and the haunting question, could hope ever outweigh reality? Contrast Chicago with the Indiana Fever, and the difference is palpable, almost tangible. Here, you don't see a single superstar shouldering the weight of an entire franchise. You see a mosaic of talent, each piece complementing the others. Caitlin Clark, with her fearless drives and lightning-quick decision-making, grabs headlines, but she doesn't carry the team alone. Beside her, Aaliyah Boston anchors the paint with quiet, relentless determination, battling for every rebound and protecting the rim as if it were sacred. Kelsey Mitchell ignites sparks when offense stalls, her clutch shots often rescuing the team from critical moments, while Sophie Cunningham's unglamorous hustle, relentless defense, and precise spacing create the foundation that allows stars to shine. In Indiana, injuries, fatigue, or off nights do not derail the identity of the Fever. There's a resilience embedded into the culture, a sense that the team is larger than any single player. Fans can feel it in the energy of the arena, in the way each possession matters, and in the way the players hold one another accountable. Every game tells a story of collaboration and collective grit. Each victory feels earned, not constructed or marketed, because it's built on authentic effort and trust. Caitlin Clark's presence alone doesn't define Indiana. It's the sum of leadership, depth, and unwavering balance that translates into tangible results. This team exudes confidence without arrogance, poise without pretense. Fans invest not just in individual talent, but in a culture that they can believe in, a journey they can follow with genuine excitement. Here, success is measured not only by the scoreboard, but by progress, heart, and perseverance. The Fever embody the truth of team sports. Winning isn't just about a superstar moment. It's about cultivating a system, a mentality, and a family on the floor. Every timeout, every huddle, every defensive rotation tells a story of connection and purpose. Indiana doesn't just compete, they inspire. Watching this team is like watching a symphony of effort, each player's contribution harmonizing into a performance that feels alive, electric, and undeniably real. In the Fever, fans don't merely see athletes. They see commitment, resilience, and a promise that no obstacle, no matter how daunting, can derail a united team. The Sky's marketing strategy had painted Angel Reese as nothing short of a savior, a transformative figure, a franchise cornerstone who could single-handedly lift the team from mediocrity into contention. Every social media post, every banner, every welcome back Barbie chant had reinforced the story. Here was a player who could turn the tides. But as the game unfolded, reality began to seep through the cracks of the narrative. Reese's return, though individually impressive, exposed a stark truth. Hype alone cannot manufacture wins. Attendance figures drove the point home. 6,724 fans showed up in a nearly 10,000 capacity arena. Seats remained empty despite the fanfare, a silent reminder that anticipation, however electric, does not always translate into fulfillment. The promise of greatness, when left unanchored by results, can feel hollow. The tension between media narratives and athletic reality became painfully clear. Chicago had built an entire season around a single star, banking on immediate transformation, on the magic of talent to erase deeper flaws. Indiana, by contrast, embodied patience, structure, and balance. Their focus was not on marketing one player as a savior, but on cultivating a system where everyone contributed, where culture and depth translated into resilience and progress. It was a subtle, yet profound difference. The Fever understood that. Wins are not trophies to be sold, but achievements to be earned collectively. For the fans, the contrast was heart-wrenching. Those who had bought into the Chicago narrative felt the sting of unmet expectations. Their excitement curdled into frustration as the arena's empty seats whispered a cold truth. No matter how bright the spotlight, basketball is not a one-person show. Each missed pass, each blocked shot, and every moment where the team failed to gel reminded the crowd that talent without cohesion is fragile. The lesson was undeniable and emotional. In professional sports, hope and hype can only carry you so far. True success requires patience, unity, and the quiet, often unsung effort of an entire team. And in that stark comparison, the human weight of disappointment was as palpable as the roar of a cheering crowd, underscoring that sports, above all, is about the delicate balance between dreams and reality. Angel Reese's comeback is a study. In contrast, it reveals the pressure stars face, the pitfalls of marketing-driven narratives, and the complexity of translating talent into wins. Chicago's Sky may have hoped for a savior, but the reality underscores the importance of balance, culture, and resilience in building a team capable of enduring success. The WNBA landscape is evolving. and teams like Indiana demonstrate that. Consistent performance, depth, and a strong roster identity win over flash and hype. The real question remains, is Angel Reese the franchise-altering player Chicago envisioned? Or is she a talented star navigating a team still searching for its soul? The answer may lie not just in stats, points, or rebounds, but in the culture, cohesion, and commitment that define sustainable victory. Fans and analysts will continue to debate, but one truth remains. Basketball is a team sport, and even the brightest stars shine brightest with the right team around them.